It says name the type of angle and find the asked for angle. That's really interesting. We're just solving for x, I guess. So what type of angles are number one? What's the name of them? Huh? Complementary, yes. Complementary. Whew, I think I even spelled it right. Complementary. And what do we know about complementary angles? They add up to be 90 degrees, which we can tell because of this little thing right here, right? That means it's 90 degrees. So that means the two angles have to equal 90 degrees. So 4x plus 8 plus 62 equals 90. So I'm going to add my like terms together. So I get 4x plus 70 equals 90. Subtract 70. And I get 4x equals 20. Divide by 4. And x equals 5. Questions? Home or here? Did you do it wrong?
Yeah, I thought it was 50, but then now looking at it, I was like, duh.
You thought it was 50?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What type of angles are number 2? Alex, what type of angles are number 2?
Supplementary.
No. Because these two angles do not form 180. They're not aligned. Does anyone remember?
Both equal to 90.
They're
Adjacent.
adjacent. Right? They share a vertex. They share a side. They're just touching. They're nothing special. They don't add up to anything. Okay? But what does these two lines right here mean? It means that they're congruent, right? This angle, the two angles equal each other. So in this case, I'm going to say 9x plus 7 equals 6x plus 16. So subtract 6x. And then I'm going to get 3x plus 7 equals 16. And then subtract 7. And I get 3x equals 9. Divide by 3. And x equals 3. Okay, and then the last one. What type of angles is number 3? Supplementary or or they're also called linear because they form a line, right? So either one would be correct. It doesn't matter which one you want to call them. And that means the two add up to 180, right? So I have 9x plus 3 plus 2x plus 1 equals 180. And if I add my like terms together, that's going to be my x's. And then my constants are like terms. So I add them together. They're on the same side of the equal sign, so I'm just going to do what it says. So I have, 11x plus 4 equals 180. Awesome. Subtract 4. 11x equals 176. Divide by 11. And x is going to equal 16. Okay. Questions? Not too bad? Yeah, not too bad. Okay. So now we're going to do, pretty much today is a definition day. We're going to talk about definitions, make sure we can define stuff. We're going to learn a whole bunch of new angles, okay? So we're going to talk about parallel lines and a transversal. Our essential question is, how do I recognize the different angle pairs that are formed when a transversal cross parallel lines? I can't even read what I typed. So first, we're going to just talk about a few of those words in our essential question. And it says, what does it mean to be parallel? Well, in order to be considered parallel, two things have to be Exactly the same distance apart at all points. Okay, so they have to be the exact same distance apart. They don't have to be straight. It can be curved as long as the same distance apart at every single point. Okay, of course, parallel does mean straight, right? But as long as they're the same, they are straight and they are the exact same distance apart at all points. Okay, so parallel lines are coplanar lines. That means they're in the same plane that do not intersect. And they're always the same exact distance apart, like railroad tracks. And this little symbol here, this one right here, oh, sorry, I can't see it. This one here means parallel. So I don't have to write out parallel. I can just put two, they're not capital L's, they're little L's, but they're just extended. So that means parallel if I don't have to write it out. That's just how you write it. And then I have A and B, and how I would write it, it would be A is parallel to B right here. Okay? Any questions on that? The one other thing I want to talk about is if I see this on some lines in the middle of a line like this, just a little arrow like that, that means those two lines are parallel also. Okay, so if I have little arrows on the line and they're going in the same directions, that means those two lines are parallel, because you'll see that also. So this means the lines are parallel. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, so now we're going to talk about what a transversal is. A transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines in a plane at different points, this, like the sides of a road crossing railroad tracks. So this is my transversal. You can see my transversal here. I'm going to highlight it. Oh, not erase it, highlight it. This is my transversal. It cuts through my parallel line. Now, the lines don't have to be parallel for it to be a transversal, but it's just a line that cuts through other lines. Are we okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. And in this case, A is parallel to B, and I have a transversal. So any questions on my definitions of parallel and transversal? Mm-hmm. At home, are you guys okay? Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next page. So the interaction between parallel lines and transversals. When one transversal interacts, when one transversal intersects two lines or two parallel lines, well, any two lines, 8 angles are formed. And we're going to number these angles. So this would be angle 1. Oh, shoot. Sorry, you guys. Let me get to a pen here. Angle 1, angle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Everyone okay with that? Really easy, right? Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way down. So we have 8. So then we're going to have these very specific angles are called. So there's several different names for these type of angles, and we're going to talk about each of them. Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about is called exterior angles, and those are angles that are above and below the parallel lines. Okay. So in those 8 numbered angles, which ones would be exterior? Which numbers? Angles that are above or below the parallel lines.
So would it be 3, 4, 7, 8?
Okay, so exterior, so on the outside of the parallel. Let's talk about that definition. On the outside of the parallel lines. So which ones?
Outside of
Yeah, so which ones are on the outside of the parallel lines?
1, 2, 5, and 6.
1 and 2, yes, I would agree with. They're on the outside of the parallel lines.
Oh, 1, 2, and 7, 8.
There we go. So angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. See, they're on the, I'm gonna write here and then I'm gonna erase it if you guys are okay with that. See these angles here, they're on the outside of my parallel lines. Does that make sense? Outside. So that means exterior. if you guys don't know, like in paint, they do exterior paint. That's for the outside of your house, right? So that's what exterior means, is outside. So we're outside of my parallel lines. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, interior angles are the angles that are between the parallel lanes. So what angles would that be?
3, 4,
Yeah, very good. So angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6. So that would be interior, like interior paint, right? So this is interior or inside. Okay. Not too bad so far? Pretty simple, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Sorry, I got to get a little smaller here. Consecutive. So now we're going to add some words, right? We have consecutive exterior angle. So we're still talking about exterior angles, right? Except we're talking, now we added a word that says consecutive. So they're angles above or below the parallel lines, same side of the transversal. So now we're going to add the transversal in there. So let me look at this. This can sometimes be called also, instead of consecutive, it can be called same side exterior angles. So you'll either see that, you'll either see consecutive or same side. Okay, so depending on what book you use or what teacher you have, they'll either call it consecutive exterior angles or same side exterior angles. Are you guys okay with that? Yeah. Okay, so which angles are consecutive angles above, below on the same side of the transversal? So I want to bring my picture back up here. So they're on the outside, right, because they're exterior, and they're on the same side of the transversal. So give me one set.
1, 4, 5, and 8.
No, it'll only be 2 angles. Give me one set of 2. There's 2 sets of 2 angles. Remember, they're on the outside of the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal.
1 and 7.
1 and 7, very good. Does that make sense? So look, on this outside of the parallel line, so on the outside of the parallel lines, right? So it's on this side, and on the same side of the transversal. So that's 1 and 7. And what's the other set?
2 and 8.
There you go.
Okay.
So angles 1 and angle 7, and angle 2 and angle 8. Was that it? Yeah, 1 and 7 and 2 and 8. Yeah. Okay. Again, we're talking about consecutive. Now we're changing it from exterior angle to interior angle. So this is, again, we're going to say this could be same side. So this could be consecutive, could also mean same side. Okay, so now it's this angles between the parallel lines, right? Because it's interior, so it's inside the parallel lines on the same side of the transversal. So which angles would that be?
Would it be 4 and 6?
Say it again.
4 and 6.
4 and 6. 3?
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Good. So angles 3 and angle 5. And angle 4 and angle 6. Sorry, this little sign in between is just a little and sign for me, like a plus sign, just kind of hooked together.
Yeah.
A cursive and sign. Okay. I know. Is everyone okay with that definition? It's not too bad, right? Okay. So now we're going to go, now we're adding a different word, and this word is alternate. Okay? So this word is alternate, exterior. So we're still talking about exterior. Exterior is on the outside of the parallel lines, right? And then alternate means on the opposite side of the transversal. Okay? Alternate exterior angles. So they're on the outside of the parallel line, opposite sides of the transversal. So which ones would that be?
Alternate exterior angle.
Yep.
That would it be? That would be 1 and 8.
Yes, 1 and 8 and
2 and 7.
Very good. 1 and 8 and 2 and 7. Nice job, you guys. Angle 1 and angle 8 and angle 2 and angle 7.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I lost my picture, so I'm trying to keep it memorized. Okay, now we're doing the same thing, except now it's alternate interior angles.
So would it be 4 and 5?
Uh-huh.
And 3 and 6?
Very good. 4 and 5 and 3 and 6. Eesh. Angle 3 and angle 6 and angle 4 and angle 5. Beautiful. Okay, so our next one is called a corresponding angles. I should have moved the picture from the top to the bottom, because once I go down here, it gets kind of small to see, doesn't it? So corresponding angle says one interior and one exterior, same position, same side of the transversal. Okay, so I want to see what you guys think. So I have one interior angle, one exterior angle in the same position on the same side of the transversal.
Exterior is outside, right?
Right, and exterior is outside, so it's one interior, one exterior. On the same side of the transversal, in the same position.
So would it be 3 and 5?
No, not 3 and 5 are both interior, so I need one interior and one exterior.
Would it be 2 and 5?
All the same side.
It's got to be on the same side of the trans.
2 and 6.
2 and 6, yeah, good. So 2 and 6 is good. Yeah, 2 and 6 work because they're in the same. Notice, so if I could, I'm going to blow this up a little bit. If I could cut this in half right here, if I could take this and cut this in half, right, and then slide it down, and I put 2 and 6 would be the same angle, right? Wouldn't they be equal to each other? Yeah. So that's what corresponding means. They're the same angle, just in a different position.
Yeah, makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got angle 2 and angle 5.
So would it be 1
Angle 2 and angle 5. Which one? Oh, sorry, 2 and 6, not 5. Sorry.
Would it be angle also 1 and 5?
Angle 2 and angle 6. Yes. And angle 1 and angle 5. Is there any more?
Is there more? Oh, 3 and 7?
Very good. Angle 3 and angle 7.
Angle 4 and
Very good. Angle 4 and angle 8. Good job, you guys. And then we have one last. We've already done this one, but we get a whole bunch of these in here. Vertical angles, right? A vertical angle is angles opposite each other when two lines are crossed. So give me a set of vertical angles.
vertical.
Yep. Give me the vertical angle to number 1. Oops, sorry. To number 1.
Would it be 1 and 8?
Nope. Remember, vertical angles are when two lines cross, they share the what? So let me draw a picture over here. So if I cross a line, my vertical angles are which one? Which one's vertical to this one? It's the opposite of it, right? Which would be this one. So which one is opposite of angle 1?
2.
Which one's?
4.
4, very good. So angle 4, right? They're opposite of each other.
Yeah.
Okay? So I've got angle 1 and 4. Angle 1 and angle 4. What's another set?
5 and 8.
5 and 8, great. Angle 5 and angle 8. Is there another set?
3 and 2.
Good. Angle 2 and angle 3. Is there another set?
Angle 6 and 7.
Very good. Nice job. Okay? Does that make sense? So I want to kind of go over these just a little bit more in relationship to how, if they're equal to each other or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I have my exterior angles, 1 and 2, 7 and 8, what do they equal? 1, so I don't know how I want to say. We're not going to talk about exterior angles because I don't know. They're not a set of angles. They're not sets. I want to talk about sets. So let's talk about consecutive exterior. Let's talk about 1 and 7. Hold on. Let me do this first. I am going to do this. And then I am going to, what the heck is going on? Okay. Then I'm going to renumber these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's look at angle 1 and 7. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 7. And what do we know about, what do we think about angle 1 and angle 7? So consecutive exterior angles. So we are going to kind of talk about exterior angles. We're just going to talk about sets 1 and 7 and 2 and 8 first. So 1 and 7, if I look at it, well, let's look at corresponding angles and consecutive angles. I know that 3 and 7 are the same, right? Because I said if I take this and I cut it in half, right? And I slide the top one over, 1 and 5 would be the same, and 3 and 7 would be the same, right? You slide them down, so the top is the same as the bottom. So that means that 7 and 3 are equal to each other, right? So I can say consecutive angles are congruent. Congruent means equal each other, right? So those ones equal each other, okay? Because corresponding angles equal each other. All right? So if I said angle 1 was 40 degrees, what would angle 5 equal?
Angle 5 would be
If angle 1 is 40 degrees, what would angle 5 be?
40 degrees.
40 degrees, because they equal each other, right? Awesome. So, oh, there's Mateo. So let's talk about angle 1 and 7 now. So we know that 1 and 5 are equal. So what do we know about 5 and 7? What do angle 5 and angle 7 equal? What type of angles are angle 5 and 7? That we already know, that we've learned before, right? We know they're either adjacent, supplementary, complementary. What would 5 and 7 be? Supplementary, because they form a line, right? So that means consecutive exterior. So that means 1 and 7, guess what 1 and 7 are?
Equal.
Supplementary, right? Because 7 and 3 are also equal, and 1 and 3 make a line, and these ones make 180. So that means 7, I can substitute in, so 1 and 7 would equal, oh, is that the right one? Equals 180 degrees. Okay, so those are supplementary. Okay, now let's talk about the same side interior angles and talk about I think I have an undo button. Beautiful. 6 and 4. What do we think about 6 and 4? What do you think they equal? What about 6 and 4? What do you think 6 and 4 equals?
6 and 4 equal supplementary.
Yeah, good. They make a line too. So those will also equal 180 degrees. Okay, so now I need to erase this again because I want to talk about the next set, which are the alternate angles, right? So either alternate interior or alternate exterior. Come on. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So alternate exterior angles, which would be, let's see, let's talk about alternate exterior. So we've got 1 and 8. Okay, let's see if we can try and figure this out. Okay. So again, if I cut this in half, right? First of all, let's talk about vertical angles. What do we know about vertical angles? Do they equal 90? Do they equal 180? Or do they equal themselves? Themselves, right? So they equal each other, right? Or themselves, however you want to put that there, right? So we know vertical angles, okay? So remember, if I cut that in half and slide it up, which angles are going to equal each other? 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, and 4 and 8, right? Can you guys imagine that if I slid that up there? So that means what angle is going to equal what? Let me think about how I want to answer this. What other angle equals what other angle does number 1 equal if I slide it up?
Number 1, 7.
1, not 7.
Number 1 equal 4.
It does equal 4 by vertical angles. Good. So 1 and 4 are equal. Very good. Okay, awesome. What other angles equal each other?
2 and 3.
I want to stay on the 1 and 4.
Oh, 8. 5.
8 and 5. Good. So now I know, so now I have my alternate exterior angles are 1 and 8, right? My alternate interior angles are 4 and 5, right? So I can talk about both of these together, the alternate interior and exterior. So I know 1 and 4 are equal, and 5 and 8 are equal. And if I cut that in half and split it up, what else would be equal? 1 and 5 and 4 and 8 would be equal. So they're all equal to each other, right? So that just means that, do I have highlighter on or do I have this on? Okay, that means that these are, if they're alternate interior or exterior angles, they're equal to each other. And you know, we're going to start having some algebra in here, right? You're going to have to start solving, just like we did for the last ones. You had to start solving for the problems. And we're going to start doing that in just a second. So this page is going to be very important to when you guys are solving, right? So you can look and say, okay, it's this type of angle. It equals this. So notice in here, it's either equal to 180 or they're equal to each other. There's no other choices. Okay, like there's not going to be a 90-degree angle in here. Or they're not going to be adjacent. They're not going to be, they can be adjacent. 6 and 8 are adjacent, but that means they equal 180 because they form a line. Okay, so a little different here. So we can look at we're going to look at here. I think that's going to be corresponding. 1 interior, 1 exterior, right? Same position, same side of the transversal. So let's go here. I want you to try and identify angles that go with each type and name all that apply. So corresponding angles, remember, they're 1 interior and 1 exterior on the same side of the transversal. So tell me some corresponding angles. In the picture I have now. Yeah.
The top one, right?
Yeah, the top one.
Corresponding, would it be 3 and 2?
Nope. They've got to be on the same side of the transversal. The black line is the transversal.
3 and 7.
3 and 7, good. Is there any more?
1 and 5.
1 and 5, great.
2 and 6.
2 and 6.
4 and 8.
And 4 and 8, beautiful. Okay, what about alternate exterior? So opposite sides of the transversal on the outside of these aren't parallel lines, but they're on the outside of the lines, right?
2 and 5.
2 and 5 are on the inside, and they're on the same side of the transversal. So I want it on the outside of my 2 red lines on opposite sides of the transversal.
1 and 4.
One's on the outside. That's great, but they both have to be on the outside.
Oh, okay. 1 and 3. You're right.
Wait, alternative, right?
Alternate exterior. Not 1 and 3, 1 and,
1 and 7. Would it be 1 and 7?
both 5 and 7 are on the inside.
8.
There you go, 1 and 8, beautiful. 1 and 8, right? So 1 is on the outside here, and then 8 are on the outside here.
3 and 6.
And then 3 and 6, good. Okay, consecutive interior. Consecutive means,
Inside.
uh-huh,
So would it be
same side interior, remember?
2 and 7?
Same side, so same side is on the same side of the, 2 and what? Yeah, 2 and 5, good.
2 and 5.
Same side of the transversal. Okay, and
4 and 7.
4 and 7, beautiful. Okay, and then alternate interior. So they're both on the inside, but they're on opposite sides.
Would it be 3 and 7?
They're on the inside of the red lines. Opposite sides of the transversal. So you have the red lines, right? We're talking about inside the red lines. So 2 is on the inside, that's beautiful. What did you say the other line was? 2 and what?
2.
Did you say 2? You might not have said 2.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Ketlin, my brain is going crazy.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to figure out something like.
Okay, so, yeah, no. Maybe I said it in my head.
Probably. Oh, 1 and 8, right?
Okay, 1 and 8 are on the opposite sides on the outside. I want it on the inside.
Oh, inside would it be 2 and 7?
Very good. 2 and 7. And
2 and 7, and so it would be 4 and 5.
very good. Awesome. So now we're going to get a little more complicated, right? So I've got 4 lines. Oh my. Okay, so for part 2, use the figure. I'm going to do a few of them, and then you guys are going to do a few of them, okay? Okay, so use the figure at the right to give the name of the transversal that forms each angle pair, and then identify the special name for the angle pair. So right, same side interior or consecutive interior, alternate interior, corresponding, whatever, vertical, whatever they are, okay? So we're going to look at angle 1 and angle 12, right? So my transversal that I'm looking at is A.
So would it be
It's A.
2 and 11?
No. I don't need to name the angles. They've already given me the angles 1 and 12. They want me to tell you what the name of it is this time.
Oh.
So like up here, they told me what the name of it is, and then they wanted me to find the angles. This time they're giving me the angles, and they want me to write the name. So 1 and 12 are on the outside, right? So it's going to be exterior, and they're on opposite sides of my transversal. So it's going to be alternate, exterior. Alt X, right? I'm just abbreviating because my line's really short. Alternate exterior. If you guys need to write it out, it'd be, and I don't know how to spell. You guys already know that, but I will try for you guys. Alternate exterior. There we go. Alternate exterior. Woo, I spelled it. Okay, so now we're going to go to angle 2. Angle 2 and angle 10. So it's the same transversal, right? So it's still transversal A.
That would be inside.
They are on the same side, right? And they're in the same position. So I think that's going to be, I'm going to pop back. So look, I've got 1 exterior, 1 interior. Same side of my transversal. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be corresponding. Okay? Corresponding. Whew. Okay, 4 and 9. Angle 4. Angle 4. Wow, okay. I'll just go ahead and do this then. Angle 4 and angle 9. So which transversal are we on? My transversal is still A. Wow, making this hard. Okay, so what do we have? Well, they're on opposite sides of the transversal, so they're alternate. Alternate. Okay, so it's alternate something, right?
Alternate exterior.
Are they on the outside of the blue or on the inside of the blue?
Wait for, oh, inside, so interior.
Interior, very good. Nice job. Okay, so I'm going to erase all of these really quick because it's starting to get a little messy over here. And we want to look at, what angles are we looking at now? 3. Oi. Oi. 3 and 6. So now what's my transversal?
Would it be in,
What letter is my transversal? A, B, C, or D?
Would it be C?
It would be C. Nice job. Okay, and tell me what type of angles are 3 and 6?
Alternate.
Mm-hmm.
Consecutive? No. Alternate exterior.
Very good. So we'll have one or two words. It's either going to be alternate or consecutive, right? And then it's going to be interior or exterior. So, right? 2 choices for each one. Alternate, unless it's corresponding. That's when I have one of each. Okay? So 10 and 14. 10 and 14 is D. Awesome. And what type of angles are they?
Corresponding.
Corresponding. Very good. There's only one word for that one. Because I have one interior and one exterior. Nice job. 13.
And 7.
Oi.
B.
13 and 7 is B. 13 and 7 is B. And what are they?
Corresponding. No.
Not corresponding.
Consecutive.
Consecutive.
Consecutive interior.
Consecutive interior. Nice. And then the last one, 13 and, oh, 13 and 16 is D, okay. And what type of angles are 13 and 16?
Corresponding? No. Consecutive? No. Alternate?
Look at your definitions on the last page. Flip your page over.
Each other? Vertical.
Vertical, very good.
Each other. Hey, well, that was good though.
He said each other.
Each other.
Okay, vertical, right? Because they're right opposite of each other. Okay.
I'm like, I have their head in the word in my head, but I'm like, I'm gonna just say each other because they're just the same. So.
They are the same, but the name of them is vertical.
Vertical.
Vertical. Good, because they share a vertice. Sheesh. Okay, now we're... Okay, so now we're going to do the math part. Okay? So in the figure, so all of that was just definitions and trying to learn the definitions. It was 3 pages of definitions, right? And learning what they mean and trying to work with the definitions. Now we're going to get to some math. I mean, definitions are math, and we have to know what they mean. But here we go. The figure below shows 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. Find the measures of the 7 remaining angles. So here we go. I'm going to blow this up big. Okay, so angle 3 equals 80 degrees. And I'm just going to write it right here. 80 degrees is angle 3. Awesome. So can you guys tell me what other angle equals 80 degrees?
What other angle?
Yeah, what other angle equals, or angle or angles, I guess I should say, equals 80 degrees?
276.
276.
Why angle 2?
Because it's opposite of 3. It's unlikely.
Because it's a vertical angle. Very good. So 80 degrees. Why angle 7?
Because it's vertical to 2 and
If you slide it downwards.
Right, if I take it and cut it in half and slide it down, what's the name of that angle called? What's 2, 3, and 7?
2, 3.
Not 2, 3, and 7. What is 3 and 7? What type of angles are 3 and 7?
Would be
Angle what?
3 and 7, honey.
3 and 7 would it be consecutive?
Not consecutive. There you go, corresponding.
Corresponding
So-
exterior.
So that's 80, just corresponding.
Oh, of course.
Because corresponding, you have one interior and one exterior. And then, of course, 6 for the same reason. 80 degrees, awesome. So 4 of my angles are 80 degrees. Whew. How do I find angle 1?
180 subtract 80.
Is
100.
100, okay. Are there any other angles that equal, I'm going to write this in a different color. Are there any other angles that equal 100?
4, 5, and 8.
Right. Not too bad, right?
No.
Pretty easy? Can you do that? Awesome, you got 4 problems. So here we go. So angle 3, I know that it's off whack and I didn't do a really good job doing this. I'm so sorry. So this would be 160. So that means this one's 160 and this one's 160 and this one's 160. 160 degrees, right? And that means that number 1 would be 20 degrees. So all the rest of them would be 20 degrees. Beautiful. Okay, and then if we go to number B, we got a different one. Similar thing though, 73 degrees. So which ones are 73 degrees? Well, 2, 7, and 6. And then, let's see, I don't know what the other one is going to be. 180 minus 73 is 107. So this one is 107. 107, is that what you guys got? Is that what you got, Ketlin?
Huh.
73 and 107?
Yes.
Good job. So again, my picture's a little off. I'm so sorry. 156, I fixed it, so next year they won't be going, what the heck are you talking about, Miss Campbell? Right? So 180 minus 56, that is so cannot be right. 180 minus 156, there we go, 24 degrees. So 24 degrees. And I started with different angles next time, so they're not all angle 3. That's what I did change. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. And then angle 3 on this last one is 21 degrees. And 180 minus 21, 159. See what you missed by not coming to class, Dewey, man. Okay, everyone okay with that? So you have 12 questions on Delta Math.